So in anticipation of the new pack that's coming out, I really want to do a duplex. If I sound ill and bunged up, it's because like I'm still ill, but I wanted to make this video. So if you don't know what a duplex is, it's basically like two houses that are the same building, but next to each other. In the UK, we have a lot of duplexes, but we have even more masonettes. Masonettes are basically the same thing, but in the UK, masonettes are more commonly like one up, one down, whereas a duplex, I think of it side by side, basically a terrace house or two semi-detached houses next to each other. As we know from the leaks from the upcoming pack, we have the ability to create duplexes where you can have two households which are both like active at the same time or something. So I really want to make a duplex, and I'm going to show you how to because it's so easy. So a great way to start with the masonette duplexy house is you've got to keep it long and thin. Just like penises, houses come in all shapes and sizes. Today we're doing long, thin ones. So what I do is get a box, all right, and we're going to plop another identical box right next to it, and these are our two duplexes. To make it a little bit different, okay, I want to do one that's 2 stories, and then we've got another that's 3 stories. What I want to do for the roof, which I think looks really pretty for these kinds of builds, is you take a halved hipped roof, drag a box around like an attic space, put a normal hipped roof on top of that, drag this wall up to the height of the other one, and then you just copy this roof all the way around. And then now I've done it on both. You can see it looks a lot prettier than just having like an upwards roof, just like a standard long one. It gives it a bit of depth. Unlike the guys I've matched with on Tinder lately, they have no depth. At least my long, thin masonettes do. Also, I want to make them stylistically similar but different, and a great way to do that is with trims. So I'm going to make a light one and a dark one. I think let's make the big one a dark one. We're going to do 2 smaller trims here. This one, I might go for quite a big light trim. I am weirdly excited to see how this pack's going to turn out, this new one. I mean, of course, like it could turn out like crap, like a lot of Sims 4 packs do, but I've got my hopes up for this one. I have a strong feeling that it might genuinely be okay. So I feel like in a duplex, like you're going to have a small back garden. It's just the way that it is. And I think having identical fences works. Same for the front, quite like this vampire's fence, actually. Also, thinking about fences, do you know what? I'm going to delete one of these roofs, actually. Sometimes I think it looks pretty if you just put a fence around the top of a roof. Maybe not that one, this space game one, for example. It adds a little bit of character, makes them look a bit different. Now, there is a door. I believe it comes in Discover University. Sir, where are you? Show yourself, please. This is such a first world problem. Oh, I own so many packs. I can't find the door. Where is this goddamn door? Sir, show yourself. I demand you. Oh, it's in the double wall height. That's why how I didn't see it. I'm sorry, door. I'm sorry for shouting at you. If anybody was seeing this out of context, like you think I was a bit crazy having a conversation with a door. Also, okay, the My First Growing Together stuff door. This one is quite sexy. We're going to use that for the other house. In fact, I think we're going to go for the whole Discover University for this side. Maybe we'll do Growing Together on the other side. It's a great way, I guess, to integrate different packs as well. We could also do bay windows at the front as well. We do have the Discover University one. I just think it gives it a bit more depth. And you know what? Let's go full on Growing Together on the other side. That is a sexy little duplex. Do you know what I mean? Love it. The sides and the backs, we won't, do you know, okay, this is my tip, guys, for building in The Sims 4. Don't window the sides and the backs until you've done the layout. Just trust me. Another tip, don't do the layouts until you've done the stairs. So normally in these kind of duplex builds, you would typically find the stairs right at the front of the house at the sides. Obviously, this house here has another set of stairs going up, so we chuck that up there. For the layout, okay, guys, behind staircases, do a little 2x3 and you've got yourself a mini bathroom. There is no other purpose for those kinds of spaces. Oh no, it's going to get rid of the window. Oh, bollocks. It was going so well. I mean, to be fair, it's quite spacious. A lot of British houses are very long and thin, just like some people's penises. And to be fair, like they look tiny on the outside, but when you go in, they look huge. Some houses are growers, not showers. And that's okay. okay. So I think we've got a lot to work with. When it comes to Sims 4 houses, not penises, smaller is usually better, I find. So the layout is pretty much sorted, which means we have the dreaded task of honestly like windowing houses. Why is it so like stressful? Why is it so stressful? My general tip is don't worry about how it looks on the outside as long as it makes sense on the inside, because real life houses, like, they do have weird windows if you look at them. Although in the instance of our smaller white one on the right, I'm actually not going to put too many windows because I'm thinking like we could turn this into like a whole street full of these, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to keep it 2 for now, and then we could always add another building to the left of it if we want to. So starting off with our house on the right, I really want to make the downstairs into a dining room and have the kitchen coming off. I feel like both of those rooms, like, they need to be on the same floor, otherwise that's a little bit weird. Also, call me speculative, but I have a feeling that this pack is going to be like a play test for The Sims 5 almost, because in The Sims 5 they keep talking about apartments. There's no mention of houses, which makes me feel like The Sims 5 is going to have apartments only. Maybe they're testing coding for like a duplex apartment system, I don't know. But if they did, I think it would make a lot of sense. Though it's like, it's a weirdly big house. Like, I can't believe how big it is. So I'm thinking we add a little bar in. The only problem is sometimes Sims, like, they will autonomously try to cook at any counters next to a bar, and like, it's really annoying. Not that we ever even play this game anyway, like, it is just a build simulator after all, so I won't complain. So you know what, I have another top tip for you guys. When you got weird spaces like this in the corner and you're like, what the hell am I doing with this weird space? Okay, if you own the Get Together pack, all you need to do is place a wardrobe in there, and like, nobody's gonna know any different, because in real life you have cupboards. In The Sims 4 we don't really have cupboards, but these closets that came with the Get Together pack are basically the same thing. So with some decorations and some changes to the flooring and wallpaper, I think it looks pretty. I love this little space. I'm gonna keep the kitchen a little bit more bright and modern though. Can't out myself with a modern kitchen. Oh guys, I love it. I really love the way it's looking. This corner's looking a little bit sad though, unless we fit in like a tiny little breakfast table. It feels a little bit over the top, like we've got bar stools, a breakfast table, a dining table. Like, what are we eating in this house to have all this? But I'm not really too sure what else to put in the space. Maybe we can change it in the future. But for now, I'm liking it. So I've done all the bathrooms. Now, a thing about me is that it's like the one thing I really hate doing. So I've actually done kind of like a copy paste job on all of the different bathrooms in the house. Apart from this one, I've made it a bit different with counters. We all have that one thing, okay? Don't judge me. I'm also making a little start on the living room. It's actually quite big. Like, I didn't think it would be as big as it is because it's a long, thin one. But it's quite a thick one, actually. You don't know until you're in there. A few inches deep. But it feels like a nice size to work with. It's not too big, unlike some. So we've added a little bit of decoration here and there. I quite like a more, I guess, open space. If you've seen my videos before, I don't like cluttering too much. Right at the end of the video, I always do like a massive clutter. I go through all the clutter objects for every single room. But for now, I'm just liking the simplicity of it. It feels clean. Now, for this tiny little room, my favorite thing to do with little rooms that I don't know what to do with is I turn it into a little laundry space. So we'll have the dryer, we'll have the washing machine, color code them so we know which is which, the wash basket in there, a little bit of decor, kind of like a junk room. I feel like, again, like most of us, we have a junk room in our house just full of crap. So this is what you might say is just basically the junk room of the house. It doesn't really need to have much going on. For in here, I feel like it very much suits being an office space. Seeming this is like quite a big house. Or do we make it a third bedroom? I don't know. What do we do? Okay, no, I feel like we need an office space. I want to make it really pretentious as well with the desk pointing outwards. I feel like that's a very pretentious thing to do. I feel like it's a rich person privilege thing to do as well. I mean, you definitely have to be rich to live in a house like this in the UK anyway. I know in some countries, maybe a house like this, you consider it to be maybe small, but in the UK, like our property market's screwed. The smaller it is, the more expensive expensive it normally is. But for now, I think it looks lovely. So the law for this room is that there are two kids sharing a bedroom together and they feel really cramped and they hate the fact that they have to share a bed together, but they're forced to, and then they grow up resenting each other. That's the little story we got going on here. I've never had any younger siblings, so I can't resonate, but I assume that's what it's like. I only have an older sibling and the age gap is so big. I just never really experienced that, which in many ways I'm very lucky. But again, okay, with kids' rooms, I feel like we try so hard to over decorate in The Sims, but when it comes to kids, I always think like in real life, kids' rooms, like they're so ugly. Like parents are not putting effort in decorating their kids' bedrooms. A lot of the rich ones do, but I think the normal ones, the ones who earn a normal income, like they just don't bother because they don't care. And to be honest, like their kids don't really care either. As long as you got all the basics in, like your kids are happy. I mean, even for me, okay, if I was a kid, I would bloody love this room. We got a bit of everything. Should we chuck an iPad on the floor? There we go. We can have an iPad, kid. So the next one is the adult's bedroom. So again, guys, when you've got a big space to fill and you don't know what to put in there, I do love to just put in a couple of wardrobes and I think it looks great. I do quite like making bedrooms in The Sims 4, actually. I don't know what it is. I just find it quite fun. I always like to put a TV in the adult's bedroom as well, just a little one, because I imagine like when they want to break from the kids, like they go up in there, they watch a bit of Summit. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I would do that if I was an adult with kids. I find it honestly horrendous. But again, I like to leave the bedrooms feeling really open. I just feel like even in real life, like I love just a nice, sweet, open bedroom with nothing in it. I don't want it cluttered. I feel like it's just the one room in the house that's got to be properly empty. I would have probably liked to have fit a vanity in. I mean, we could have probably fit one in if we tried, but I quite like the way it looks now, if you know what I mean. It feels quite sexy. If we pop in just a little round rug, I think it looks cute in here. But again, I like to do the major cluttering as soon as I finish everything else, because I just feel like it's a better way to look at it. Looking at the next masonette, this one's obviously a lot smaller, so I'm going to have less room to work with, but I still think we can make a good space. And we've got 2 less bathrooms to do, which makes me very happy. So for this one, I am feeling a dream home decorator sofa, kind of like a corner sofa thing going on. I think that looks nicest. Also, I'm getting really conscious of like not using the exact same stuff as I did in the other house. I feel like I have to use completely different things, otherwise it wouldn't really make much sense. Imagine having all the same furniture as your neighbors. Although to be fair, how many of us own like the exact same IKEA dresser? Do you know what I mean? It probably is more common than you think. Actually here, I might do something that's a little bit more, I don't know, Britishy looking, and have a fireplace in there with a TV on top of it. Though now we'd have to put the sofa back again. And again, like at least we can use one of the big obnoxious coffee tables. I feel like this sofa looks weird. The dream home decorator sofa, I just don't get it. It's a little bit too small. I don't like it. I just feel like the size of everything is a bit off in terms of its distance. Okay, what we're doing, we're gonna get a TV and we're gonna plop it on here and have the fireplace there instead of a normal sofa. If we have just a little chair there, okay, that makes it look a little bit better. Maybe this chair, there we go. Guys, I love it, although like I do admit it does look a little bit like IKEA showroomy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how, it just does. For this little back space here, obviously the kitchen, I'm saying the kitchen's small, the kitchen is huge, but unless I'm thinking we actually make the kitchen a bit smaller, then we have the room to put actually a nice dining table in the living room, and I want to use a round one potentially. I feel like round will look good in this space. Don't know how you feel. Yeah, see, I like that a lot. Although, no, guys, I'm going back on it. I have gone back on my decision. Rectangular is the way forward, I'm afraid. This one's definitely prettier for me, I think, because it's quite eclectic and all over the place. I think it suits my vibe more. Again, for the kitchen, I don't know what to do with this little space here, so we are going to turn it into a closet. We'll pretend it's like a pantry or something. Nobody's going to know. So I quite like this blue one that come with the, I think it's called the cottage kitchen kit. There are honestly so many kits now, like I can't keep up, but I think it's a good one, so I chucked that in there. Although the shelves, they look like they're going to be really difficult to work with. Do you know what, guys? I'm not going to use the matching shelves. I feel like there's a lot of unnecessary pressure to use matching shelves and kitchen units. I don't think you always need to match them. Not shelves, cabinets. That's what I mean. I feel like you can use the ones from different packs and like it still looks good. Like it still looks like it fits together well. So that is beautiful for me. Again, I prefer the kitchen here. I think I do. I think I prefer this house in general, to be honest. They're getting like, it just feels a little bit IKEA show home, show roomy. And again, I've kind of done a bit of a copy and paste job on the bathroom. The only difference is in the downstairs bathroom with this one, I'm chucking in a washing machine. And then I'll put a washing line outside now, even before we've done the garden, just so I don't forget. So I'm going to try and make both of the bedrooms here adult-sized bedrooms. You know, maybe one could be a teen bedroom, but then the other one is the parents'. Maybe it's kind of like a spare room. I feel like that's a lazy way out, but if you say it's a spare room, it doesn't have to look too personalized. Although we have got a guitar in there, so it's got like hobby things. This next one, I'd like this one to be, I guess, kind of more like a main bedroom. I feel like it's going to have to look a little bit Sims 4 base game to give off the style that I want to give off. I feel like this house, I want it to be a little bit more eclectic and weird, because real life houses, you know, like they're not perfect at all. Real life houses are ugly, but in The Sims 4, we give ourselves pressure to make the most beautiful houses you've ever seen. I just don't think it's necessary. I like to go for a bit more of a realistic thing in my builds, which means like in real life, everybody has a random mishmash of stuff. Most real people, like, they can't afford to style too much, so I want to give that off. Now, in terms of cluttering, both of the builds on the inside, even though I did give this one a little bit of crap when it first came out, I really am not against the everyday clutter kit. It is a godsend for cluttering your build, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm sorry, I'm a hypocrite because I complained about it when it first came out. I still think it's a bad pack, to be fair. I don't think it's the best pack in the world, but for what it's worth, it's not as bad as I made it out to be originally. I just think it's very overpriced, and it should have definitely come with a lot more stuff, but I don't think it's awful by any means. Also, guys, when it comes to cluttering, a lot of people like to clutter room by room, like clutter this room, clutter that room. My best piece of advice is to, instead of do it by room, just go through every single individual object and just go around the entire build, flip-flopping between different rooms, cluttering them up. It is a lot easier that way because you don't have to search through the whole build catalog to find specific things for each room. Like, you just chuck it all down wherever it needs to go, and it's a lot easier. Another one I do really love is a blooming rooms kit for all the plants. Again, like, however much I bash this game, it really is a godsend for just plopping some little plants down randomly everywhere. Though I do still feel like the build by catalog needs a lot of sorting because it is overwhelming. Again, that's so first world, like, oh my god, I own all the packs, it's so hard. But it is really hard. So I've done quite a lot of cluttering. I feel really happy. The actual attics, I just don't feel like we're going to be able to fit in a staircase or even a step ladder to get up in them, so I'm not going to bother with those. Although we could actually, do you know what, for this one, seeing that it's only 2 stories and the other one is 3, maybe we could fit, there we go, we could fit a ladder here. Okay, that actually works. There we go. Attics do like really scare me in real life. I don't know why, it's something about them, I don't like it. Though, do you know what I am going to use? Again, basement treasures kit. Did you know in German, basement treasures is called the attic treasures kit for some reason? So we are using it for our attic. Put some old dusty things in here. The old vibrating heart bed. Though I do admit this room will probably be horrific for gameplay because Sims will just autonomously want to walk all the way up here. I know it's going to piss people off, but still, okay, I like it. It's sweet. It's a nice use of the space. Now, in terms of the gardens, I want to make the fronts just feel a little bit different. For this one specifically, I think we're going to do a lot of plants up in here. Lavender to save the bees. Guys, don't forget your lavender. We need to save the bees. They're vital for our ecosystems. They're not just about the honey. They regulate everything else. I just want this one just to be like a little bit overboard. Also, maybe a little bit overgrown, like they haven't bothered to keep it up. I mean, I wouldn't. Who bloody cares about their front gardens? Not me anyway. Haven't got time for that. For this one, I want to make it feel like it's more of a driveway. Obviously, that's all a facade in The Sims 4. You would never really need a driveway, but we're going to pretend that we need one. Also, I'm thinking here, I believe they came with the cottage living pack. There we go. We got some, what do you officially call it? It doesn't have an official name in The Sims 4, so I don't know. But I want to have some different plants. I want to have wisteria and stuff like that. Love a bit of wisteria. Perfect. I'd also like some flower boxes. Ooh, I think the drain pipes, weirdly, are going to look really cute in this house. I'm going to put a few different ones on each of the builds. Yeah, I think it just enhances like the townhousey vibe. I can't put my finger on why. I just think it looks really pretty. Bit weird. The only reason to get together. Also put some, is it trellis along here as well? Looks cute. actually didn't, there we go. High school years actually came with a long one. We could put this, is there like a super long one? We could put it right at the top here. Love that. Oh guys, it's all coming together nicely. Although it doesn't feel chaotic enough for a SatchOnSims video yet. Do you know what I mean? Something has to go wrong in a minute. It has to. Now for a bit of variety in the back gardens, the right one has got no grass. Sorry garden, you've got none. And then this one has a little bit of grass. It's very much giving off like rich side, poor side. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it definitely was not on purpose. Guys, can we talk about the fact, okay, we've got perfect patio stuff, romantic garden stuff, and backyard stuff. All three of these are packs about a back garden. Like, why do we need three? Ironically, we still don't really have enough stuff for a back garden. They still haven't done it yet. We need a fourth one soon. Right, these ones are pretentious bitches, and they have got a hot tub. I'm also wondering with this brand new pack that's coming out, like, how's it going to work? Like, if you make a garden, is it going to have to be like a communal shared garden? Or will you be able to keep your own back garden separate? Because it feels a bit weird if they had to share a communal garden, but I genuinely just can't see them doing the new pack in any other way. Okay, so I feel like we've got a good thing going on here. I've also decided to add some like benches along the side of the road here to make it look like it fits in with the neighborhood. Now over here, okay, I'm thinking we could fit like 3 more. Could we fit 4? Let me just like copy the width of this. 1, 2. Okay, we could do like 2 regular ones and 1 slightly smaller one in size. So that is entirely possible. Guys, let me know if you'd like to see another bit coming off the edge here. I really want to finish this build and do 2 more. Obviously, when the full pack comes out, you're only going to be able to do like 2 houses next to each other in a duplex. But for this, I want to pretend and do 4. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.